tell us a little bit about your martial arts background, your school's background.
I started in '83. I'm a seventh degree black belt, retired police officer.
I started in 1997, and my husband actually took me to my first class.
Oh, very cool. Took you there in cuffs, right? I'm sure people have said that joke before, but I'm going to recycle that. It's a little bit about the background of your business.
We started as a club in Effingham, Illinois. We purchased our first commercial school then and operated out of a small rural town and did that. And we had really good success with that school.
We grew that one to a very nice, sizable school so that if one of us.
We were so green, we didn't know what to track back then.
It was just good. Yeah.
We were making money. So we were like, okay.
I was the primary instructor at that school and I was running it, the back end of it. So that was my full-time job. I was able to do that full time while he was still in law enforcement. And then at one point we decided that we wanted greener pastures. We wanted bigger and better things. And law enforcement has always been a passion of his, but he was weighing other options at that point and decided, hey, I really want to do this full time. And in our minds, we couldn't really sustain our income, that amount of income, or replace his law enforcement income in that community. So we chose to basically sell everything we owned and moved here to Bloomington. And and we bought a, it was not thriving. It was falling on its face.
And had a dozen students.
Yeah, it had 15 students. And we grew it up to almost 400 in 2022.
And what style do you guys teach? Are you part of an organization?
Yes, we're part of the ATA, the American Taekwondo Association. And we teach some Taekwondo, but we also have a Krav Maga program and we have an after school and summer camp program as well.
Okay, great. And why did you first get started with Double Your Dojo?
We were seeing, and I think a lot of people are seeing this, we were seeing our social media marketing plateauing and starting to taper off, and the ROI just simply wasn't there. And so we knew we needed to switch it up. We needed to go, and we really started angling towards grassroots marketing already and started working that way. You posted a business tip on Facebook, and I read it and liked it so much. And it was the biweekly billing that you wrote about. And so it made our sign up so much easier. And so that was revolutionary because it really changed our intro process. And so it's now where we used to have an intro room and do a pitch and, and everything else. It was 30 minutes per person, basically is what we took to sign up. And we took that process and now it's a countertop process where here's what it is. Here's how it works. Here's what you get. And our enrollment rate actually went up. And so I was so impressed with that. And then I heard about your Double Your Dojo program. And so that's when we wanted to take advantage of it and try it out.
Cool. And what challenge exactly were you trying to solve?
Yeah. Enrolling students for less than $250 a piece.
Yeah.
It seemed like that was where we were at with Facebook marketing right now, or at least then.
Simplifying that process. It's making it more simple.
So why do you feel like organic is a better approach for you guys? Or maybe not like better because you still need social media marketing, right? But why do you feel like organic, it was like the route for you?
The best part about organic marketing is you make an automatic connection, because if you're doing it because you connected with the people. Like, for example, we did the program over the summer, and some of our daycare families that I connected with through your program, some of the daycare families, they're like our biggest fans right now because they know us personally and they got to know us personally, not just after they signed up and becoming a part of our program, but we were able to develop a connection with them early. And I think that goes a long way towards retention as well.
Okay, great. So what specific strategies did we implement to actually help you with the organic marketing that you felt was impactful?
So we were already familiar with, and we had a great relationship with a few of the daycares, and had a great relationship with some of the elementary schools in town. And getting in, you have a great program for that. That wasn't as much of a challenge for us. It was, once we do it, what do we do with it? And so that was invaluable because we were able to take not only your strategies and succeed with them after our daycare talks, but we were able to take the same principles and some of the same scripts that you used, and we were able to flip that into our trunk or treat program and use that with our trunk or treat. And we had stellar success with that as well. And so it was something that not only was limited to just what we talked about, but we were able to expand it and utilize it in other areas too. And those follow-up emails, I actually had somebody reach out to me the other day fellow school owner. Actually, I had two that reached out to me. So how did you do that? And I told them about your program. And because they were like, wow, I've done trunk or treats before, but I've never had that kind of success with them. And so I was like, yeah, it was as simple as a couple of emails that I'd never sent before, or excuse me, text messages that we'd never sent before. And the scripting, when you talked about the irresistible offer, things like that. But we were able to utilize that and flip that into programs that we already had and double the output.
And Elisha, I want to hear from you. What do you feel like was most impactful?
With regard to, okay, so I appreciated the accountability. And I think that over the course of the last maybe 5 years, I've taken a little bit of a step back from everyday instruction and everyday going out and acquiring new students. And I focused more on the after school and summer camp program. So with the Double Your Dojo, I was able to jump right back in, use the scripts that you recommend, and just to be able to follow step by step what it is we should be doing, when we should be doing it, in order to receive the optimum result, I guess. And then the accountability of your phone calls every week. I think we all need an accountability partner at some point. And for me, especially because I had pushed off all of the martial arts stuff on him, the accountability with both of us being on the phone calls and being able to maneuver through the different your system, I think was really, it sparked a little bit more of a, I don't know, an excitement, maybe enthusiasm of getting back into the grind.
Yeah.
That makes sense.
Yeah, it definitely makes sense.
And to your credit, I've always believed that accountability partner is the way to go, and having a consultant, because doctors make their worst patients, and lawyers who represent themselves have a fool for a client. All that stuff is true. And I think that business coaches and accountability partners are extremely important for anyone that's successful. But the best part about you is that we've had other coaches in the past that we've had one phone call wasn't connected to the next. And so I'd have somebody say, okay, so here's your homework. Here's what you're going to do. I want you to have this done by the next time we talk, so on and so forth. And then the next time we meet, we're talking about something completely different. And I'd be like, and there was no, with you, you're like a slave driver. You're like, hey, last week we talked about X, Y, and Z. Have you gotten on X yet? Okay. What were your results? No, let's write them down. And then you get the spreadsheet out. It's, oh my God, I can't even breathe for a second. You're working me to, and that was, don't let me fool you. That was the best part about it, because that kind of accountability, especially, and I think we've been in business for over 25 years. And I think I consider us veterans as school owners, and we know the ins and outs pretty well. If we can come away from this program learning things, they've definitely got things to learn.
Definitely, yeah.
And that's the kind of accountability that people really need.
Yeah, thank you for saying that. I'm gonna put that on my name tag as slave driver. And that's the red. Oh my God. Okay.
I want to do that.
Yeah, I don't know. I might delete that part. Okay.
Maybe senior master accountability partner. How about that?
Well, the hating's better than slave drivers. All right. So tell me, what were the results of the program? Obviously, you put it on this effort, a bunch of daycares, schools. What have the results been?
We had an entire summer's worth of daycare talks and open houses that we did every week. Our enrollment rate for our open house was well over 50%, which was fantastic. Yeah. Over the summer to have a steady stream of students coming in is great.
Or we did absolutely no Facebook or
None.
no advertising online.
And then, but beyond that, we were able to take those new students and then roll them into our referral programs and get them bringing other people in. And so that helped a lot too, because that added through the summertime was really great. But then again, the crazy part, like with our school talk that we did in Oakdale, here's the fun part. We just did one. And before, we'd show up, hand out flyers, hope for the best. And by utilizing your system, we came in, we had just today, we did a school talk with 250 plus. Because we've just got another pile of leads we need to enter before I send out my follow-ups. But we had 250 kids that we did, and we haven't even started on the follow-up process yet. And we've already got 29 hot leads now. That people that are coming to us, they're coming to us saying, "Hey, fantastic!" People that have never thought about martial arts, but they needed that trigger pull, and this program gave it that.
Beautiful. I love that. So when I was looking at your sheet, it looks like we So far, everything on here too is just daycares. I know you still have 3 schools ahead of you, which is really the big leagues. But even just the daycares, if I add it up, you have about 200 leads. So 200 leads, if you bought them on Facebook, that's 10 grand of leads. And then if you look at your enrollments, you have to 21 so far. That means you've added $3,843 in recurring revenue, which is great because that's just not the one-time thing. This is something you got to do every single year, right?
Mhm.
So when you hear that, when you hear okay, like without even doing the school, it's just the daycare part, you added almost $4,000 in monthly recurring revenue. How does that actually make you feel?
Oh, it's a huge load off our minds, especially when we can do that in the summertime when everybody else is tightening up. And then for us to be able to breathe better, that's a load off our minds.
Yeah, it's so cool because even if you do that, let's say for a full year, that's an extra 48K a year without even schools. That's like a Mercedes, right? So, or maybe a nice Honda Civic or something. I don't even know how much cars cost, but something nice. Where do you think you'd be if you didn't join the program?
Still pushing Facebook marketing and spending way too much and getting back way too little.
Yeah.
Mm. And what would you say to someone who's on the fence? Maybe they're in ATA school, maybe they're whatever, some other martial arts school, and they're on the fence about booking a call, but they're not sure. What would you say?
I'd be willing to put myself out there as a personal endorsement, and say, hey, if anybody's got any questions, you can reach out to me directly and I'll tell you for sure that yes, it does work. And even for the experience, because you know what, you always learn something, when you learn how to do a high block, but then you go to a karate school and they do a high block, but they put a little twist on it. And then you go to a Tai Chi school or a Kung Fu school and they might have a different way, different application for it. You're always going to learn a nuance that you never knew was there. And you might pick something up that's extra. And so I think that by having a program that takes some things, the grassroots marketing is nothing, but shows you how to maximize it. I think that's invaluable because, like you said, that's something I can keep re-implementing over and over again and utilizing that. And the best part is, you talked about the connections we made last summer. We've already had people reaching out to us saying, let's get you on the books for next year.
Mm.
So this isn't a one-time thing. And so and now that we've sharpened our pencil on it and we know how to really maximize these, now we can stack them on top of each other confidently, where before we were doing one at a time. And then we can start enjoying a lot of free time as we're doing this. And yeah, like you said, the extra revenue doesn't hurt
Yeah.
because, I think it was a very wise man that once said, there's no problem that you have that can't be solved by 20 new white belts. I think that anybody, whether you're an established veteran school or if you're brand new and starting out, I think anybody can benefit from accountability, experience, and great systems. And they're getting all that from you. And you did a great job. And we're happy with the program. We're glad we did it.